Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? My name is CBAD, coach of the Detroit Steel Wings, and we are here today with our Week 1 matchup against Danny and the... Oh God, I'm rusty. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. We're keeping it all in. This ain't getting edited in post. We ain't editing this in post. We ain't editing this in post. The Waukegan Wakes. There we go. There we go. I knew it was a Wakers team. I knew it was a Wake team. I knew we had that on there. Danny and the Waukegan Wakes. Definitely go check out Danny's channel. Link will be in the description, as well as the rest of our coaches. Definitely go drop a sub so you do not miss out on the next couple weeks of fun. I believe it's an 8-week main season, so very looking forward to this, and I hope you guys are too. This matchup is a fun one, mainly because I wanted Danny's first round pick, and I didn't get it, so that's why I'm looking forward to this. I really want to dominate, just so I know that I made the right choice in my pick, and you know, seeing what it is. But overall, it should be a fun matchup. I'm really looking forward to it. On paper, each team has its own strengths and weaknesses against each other. I really don't believe it to be super clear cut on who has the better team. I think there's a lot of offensive and defensive checks that it just depends on who truly counter teamed better, which is the spirit of Draft League at the end of the day. So I'm looking forward to it. I hope you guys are too. If you're new, subscribe. And if you like this video, leave a like on it. There will be some text floating on screen somewhere in post-production if you want to skip right on ahead to the battle. But also, let me know in the comment section. Do you guys want Detroit Steel Wings merch or not? I don't know. It's a lot of hassle for me to put together. If you guys want it, I'll do it. If not, I won't lose sleep over it. That being said, appreciate you guys tuning in today. You're in for an exciting first week back in Draft League. My first in 2 to 3 years at this point. So very looking forward to it. You guys are going to start to see some teams appear on screen right about now. My opponent has Walking Wake, Ogerpon Teal Mask, Jirachi, Okidogi, Sylveon, Sandy Shocks, Charizard, Ninetales, Victory Bell, Driftblim, Magcargo, and Furret. Some things to note are that his Terra Captains are Charizard, Victory Bell, and Magcargo. Charizard has access to Fire, Ground, and Fairy Terra typing. Victory Bell has access to Grass, Fire, and Fairy, and Magcargo has access to Fire, Water, and Ghost. He does have some Stealth Rockers in the form of Jirachi, Sandy Shocks, and Magcargo. A Hazard Removal in the form of Driftblim as a Defogger and Furret as a Tidy Up user. 2 Spikes users in the form of Ogerpon and Sandy Shocks. And then Healing Wish support with Ninetales. Overall, fastest Pokemon on the team is going to be that Ogerpon Teal Mask, but with the weather capabilities that Ninetales brings with Drought, alongside Pokemon like Walking Wake and Sandy Shocks, there may be some other speed shenanigans going on there as well. But if I had to think 6 to bring, I think everybody brings their first round pick week 1. You know, you just come out the gate swinging. There's no real, you just hit as hard as you can week 1. So I think my opponent would bring Walking Wake. Sylveon, if you guys didn't watch the draft analysis, I talked about how there is some glaring fairy, not weakness, but we don't really have a good check for any out of control fairy types. So Sylveon could show up. Okidogi hits like a monster, and that toxic chain ability that it has is very threatening, even to something like Cresselia, which handles it pretty nicely. Just being able to get Toxic down by Toxic Chain is not a fun time. Definitely think Okidogi show up. Ninetales, it's a very Sun-based team. It does have opportunity to perform outside of Sun, but I definitely think Ninetales shows up. As an alternative sweeper, I believe Victory Bell would show up over something like maybe Charizard, but I definitely think Victory Bell could show up. And then Sandy Shocks, you know, being able to have a nice ground type, being able to have something that can capitalize on the weather boost, and then just being able to have a reliable hazard setter, something that can click Volt Switch, something that acts as a ground, you know, an electric immunity from something like Vikavolt if we brought it, but spoilers, we are not. So all that being said, that is my opponent's team, where we're going to start talking about and breaking down what I decided to bring as soon as I pull up my team here. It has been a minute. Do not judge me. Do not judge me. I'm a little rusty at this. So, week 1 in the SPL. First Pokemon we're bringing is Iron Grandpa, the Iron Bundle. They are rocking their Choice Scarf with the Quirk Drive ability, Flip Turn, Hydro Pump, Freeze Dry, and Ice Beam. 84 EVs in HP, 252 EVs in Special Attack, 172 EVs in Speed with a modest nature. With this, so with the potential for speed shenanigans, being able to bring some Sun Sweepers and things of that nature, I wanted to bring something that really just kind of pops everything, you know, where we needed to. And I feel like that's Iron Bundle from a special side. Being able to outspeed an Oko Walking Wake with a Freeze Dry is awesome. And then being a Sun-based team, you know, I don't feel like a lot of his Pokemon have a lot of good checks to this unless the sun is up. Hydro Pump hits like a truck. Flip Turn gives us great momentum. Freeze Dry being able to hit the Walking Wake, and then Ice Beam overall just hitting everything else. Really, if the sun's not up, we are doing a lot of damage to something, which is fantastic. Outspeeds, so if Ogerpon Teal Mask shows up and goes for like a Trailblaze getting it to +1, or if it's a Choice Scarf Ogerpon for whatever reason, we do outspeed that. We do also outspeed a speed boosted Walking Wake, whether there's no sun and there is the booster energy that boosts its speed, or whether there is sun and the photosynthesis activates and boosts its speed that way. We do outspeed Walking Wake as well with this, and we outspeed everything below that. A Chlorophyll Victory Bell will outspeed us, so we do need to be mindful of that. And I think we've got some opportunities to help kind of sponge some of those hits as well. But that is our first one. The second Pokemon we had to bring, and again, you just come out guns blazing week 1. See what you like and see what you don't like. So the next Pokemon we're bringing is the Bonk, aka Ogerpon Hearthflame. She is rocking Trailblaze, Ivy Cudgel, Hornleech, and Swords Dance. Holding, of course, the Hearthflame Mask with the Mold Breaker ability. We have 72 EVs in HP, 252 in attack, 184 in speed with a Jolly Nature. At this speed, we are outspeeding Sandy Shocks and below, which means we are outspeeding Jirachi, Okidogi, Sylveon, Sandy Shocks, Charizard, Ninetales, Victory Bell outside of Sun, Drifblim without an Unburden boost, Magcargo, and Furret. Trailblaze is great because it does give us the opportunity to go for additional speed. If we do know that some of our Pokemon, if we can identify which ones are scarfed, or if we feel like there may be a benefit to boosting speed on things like Walking Wake and Sandy Shocks, we do have the opportunity to go for a Trailblaze to outspeed them. Ivy Cudgel, fantastic signature move by Ogerpon. It's 100 base power attack, 100% accuracy, high critical hit ratio, and it depends on the user's form. We are a fire form, so being able to take advantage of our opponent's sun could be very nice with using that Ivy Cudgel. Hornleech is nice. I don't know if my opponent will jump for hazards. Jirachi and Sandy Shocks are very reliable hazard setters. I could see either of them coming this week. While I do bet on Sandy Shocks, Jirachi could show up and be a very reliable stealth rocker. We are faster than Jirachi, so being able to hit that thing with just a very hard-hitting Ivy Cudgel could be very nice. Our Hearthflame Mask also boosting all of our attacks by an additional 20%, which is great. And then I don't know if we'll have the opportunity to go for it. I do have Swords Dance on here. Swords Dance could be nice if we really anticipate our opponent going for a switch into something that might be able to take a Hornleech or an Ivy Cudgel. Hornleech is great because it does, obviously it is grass type, so it does get the stab boost, gets the Hearthflame Mask boost, and then it does give us that recovery. But really, +2 Ivy Cudgel in the sun with that Hearthflame Mask boost. Like, sure, that's resisted. If we take a look, let me pull up a calc here. Let's just say Charizard. Let's just say Charizard in the sun. An Ivy Cudgel from, and by the way, Ogerpon, so if Charizard's the check here, right? If Charizard's the check, Ivy Cudgel in the sun does 57 to 67 to Charizard. I don't know if that was the best one to give that away to, but let's take a look at Ninetales, right? Let's take a look at Ninetales. In the sun, Ivy Cudgel, unboosted, not without Swords Dance, Ivy Cudgel does 61 to 72%. It is a high crit ratio move, so if we do get a critical hit, it is 91 to 108. So it is a OHKO after rocks, or really any sort of chip damage that's pre-existing on that. Magcargo is probably the Pokemon that we would see being able to take one of those. Ivy Cudgel not doing too much. Hornleech, though, doing 36 to 43. If we are able to get a Swords Dance off, doing 73 to 86 to Magcargo, which is very beneficial. That's a max HP Magcargo. Drifblim, something like that in the sun. Ivy Cudgel blowing it backwards, 119 to 141. If you don't resist this Pokemon's hits in the sun, Ivy Cudgel just does so much damage. So I'm really looking forward to that. Again, Swords Dance if we anticipate a switch. Trailblaze nice for the speed, but really we're going to be clicking Ivy Cudgel or Hornleech, hopefully capitalizing on our opponent's sun. Because we are bringing two Pokemon that are weak to rocks, my opponent does have Pokemon that can reliably set up stealth rocks. I did want some hazard control this week. I also wanted a Pokemon that could help handle Okidogi. Okidogi has 115 base attack and just hits nuts, just absolutely hits nuts. So we are bringing Tummy Man, the Don fan. He is rocking his leftovers with the sturdy ability, Stealth Rock, Rapid Spin, Earthquake, and Protect. Max HP, 4 in attack, max defense with an impish nature. This Pokemon is strictly here to take physical hits from something like Jirachi, from something like Okidogi, Furret. We don't want to take a hit from Victory Bell. We don't want to take a physical hit from Walking Wake. Being able to provide an electric immunity answer to Sandy Shocks as well, should it happen, is also great. Rocks is great. Rocks is fantastic. My opponent doesn't have many opportunities to remove hazards. Heavy-duty boots are a thing. But being able to do super effective damage on Pokemon like Charizard, like Ninetales, Drifblim, Magcargo, and then really just start to kind of chip things down if my opponent gets a little too switch happy is really nice. Rapid Spin, great. Being able to remove any sort of hazards that my opponent has is fantastic. Earthquake just hits hard, man. Earthquake just hits a lot of his team. Ogerpon Teal Mask resists. Charizard is immune. Drifblim is immune. If Charizard terrestrializes, I mean, it loses its ability to be immune to that. So we do have a lot of opportunity to hit hard with Earthquake. And 120 base attack, even though we're very uninvested in attack, is still going to hit pretty hard, in my opinion, which is great. All in all, like I said, this thing was here to be an okie dokie check. Protect is there to help our leftovers recovery. We don't have much opportunity for recovery there. But this thing was here to take that, and be able to sponge some of those other physical attacks as well, which I'm very, I'm very in need of week 1. Next Pokemon we are bringing, I said it in the draft analysis, it provides an extra layer of preparation that our opponents will have to go through, and I might just want to use it just to help out. We are bringing Stinky Man the Ditto. He's rocking Choice Scarf with the Imposter ability and Transform. We've got max HP, max defense, 4 in attack with an Impish nature. We wanted to make sure that we maximize our HP as much as we're able to, because that is the one stat that Ditto does not copy. Other than that, we are looking good. Imposter is great. If we are able to, I feel like Ditto is a great bring for weather teams, because you do have chlorophyll sweepers. You do have Pokemon like Walking Wake and Sandy Shocks that can activate their abilities in the sun. So if they have Walking Wake with a speed boost, if we bring in Choice Scarf Ditto, which transforms, then gets its own speed boost, it's now faster than a speed boosted Walking Wake. Same thing with Sandy Shocks. And then really, if any other Pokemon wants to set up, it does provide that extra layer that my opponent has to consider. One of the big things looking at is like a Calm Mind Sylveon. Can't Calm Mind too much, because I'll just bring in Ditto. That there's an opportunity for that there. Can't set up with too much. If it's a bulk up Okidogi set or something like that, we can just bring in our own Okidogi and start throwing off our own Toxic Chains, which is going to be great. We can transform into our opponent's Jirachi and just Serene Grace Ironhead everything down. It'll be fantastic. So really, it's there to prevent my opponent from thinking that setup is too free. We keep it in the back, wait for them to set up, wait for them to get a weather boosted Pokemon, and we Choice Scarf on top of that weather boost, and we hopefully just counter sweep from there. Next Pokemon we are bringing is a special defensive check. Helps us take on things like a specially offensive Walking Wake. Helps us take on Pokemon like Sylveon, sponge hits from Pokemon like Charizard, especially offensive Ninetales, Victory Bell, things along those lines. We're bringing Splash and Man the Cresselia. She's rocking her leftovers with the Levitate ability, Psyshock, Thunderwave, Moonlight, and Calm Mind. Max HP, 4 in defense, max special defense with a Calm Nature. This Pokemon is nice. My opponent does not have a Dark type, so we could bring a more offensive Psychic type, but he also has a hard time breaking Cresselia, if I'm being completely, in my opinion. I could be wrong, but there's a potential for a hard chance to break Cresselia. So being able to Calm Mind and Moonlight up could be very, very nicely. Thunderwave is great for the speed control. Being able to paralyze a Sunsweeper could be awesome for us late game. Moonlight for the recovery. And then, like I said, Psyshock just hits pretty nuts unless your name is Jirachi, really. And I don't think we want to stay in on Jirachi too much. We've got Donphan for that. We've got some other opportunities for that. But being able to help out against things like that, being able to set up in front of Pokemon like Sylveon as well could be beneficial if we're Calm Minding against each other. I'm going to hit you with a Psyshock, and it's going to hurt because it's on the physical side, which is great. So Splash and Man able to help us with our end game there with a little bit more of our backbone. And last but not least, I said I was bringing it. In the draft analysis, I was like, I will be damned if I'm not bringing this. I am bringing it. We are bringing Is That You Cat the Persian. She is rocking her loaded dice with the Technician ability. Fake Out, Fury Swipes, Knock Off, and U-Turn. 40 HP, 252 in attack, 216 in speed. With a Jolly Nature, we are outspeeding my opponent's entire team, provided there are any boosts. So Ogerpon and below, we do outspeed everything. So any Choice Scarfers, any Chlorophyll boosts, any Photosynthesis boosts will obviously outspeed us from there. Normal terrestrialized Fake Out Technician is just going to be fun, right? We're already going to get the stab boost. We're going to get the terrestrialized boost. We're going to get the Technician boost. We're going to go for Loaded Dice, Fury Swipes. Loaded Dice, this holder's moves that hit 2 to 5 times, hit 4 to 5 times. Fury Swipes, hitting 2 to 5 times, now hits 4 to 5 times. Fury Swipe is an 18 base power move. Boosted by Technician now makes it 27 base power. Hitting 4 to 5 times, 27 times 4 is 108 base power. Fantastic. Fantastic. I love it, being able to boost, and then boosted by stab, boosted by the terrestrial boost as well. Knockoff is great for removing items on things. I'm always a big fan of having access to Knockoff. Knockoff was also a potential on Ogerpon, but I really felt like a Swords Dance could be much more beneficial there. So having knockoff is nice. Being able to remove items on some of those defensive checks, having a way to really hit Driftblim as well is really nice. And then U-turn as well. Being able to have that momentum and being able to pivot around is good. You know, we've got some fast turn potential with things like Iron Bundle, with Flip Turn, and then Persian with U-turn as well. If we start to kind of see some trends where maybe something's Rocky Helmet, we don't want to Fury Swipes it, we can U-turn out instead as well and keep up that momentum. So I'm excited for week 1. Of course, please let me know your thoughts on the team down below. I am excited for this battle. Don't forget to check out Danny as well. Link will be in the description. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys at the game. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here with week 1 of the SPL. My name is CBAD, coach of the Detroit Steel Wings, and I'm looking forward to this. Definitely go check out Danny, the coach of the Waukegan Wakes, who we are getting ready to play out. The link to his channel and everybody else in this fantastic league will be in the description. If you guys want any more resources on that, I believe there's a public fan document as well as a Discord server which you can join. Come hang out with myself and the other coaches as well. It's a great time over there. If you guys missed the team builder, definitely go back and check it out, because you'll know what we're bringing and why we're bringing it. But we got Iron Bundle, Ogerpon, Donphan, Ditto, Cresselia, Persian. I expect my opponent to bring Walking Wake, Sylveon, Okidogi, Ninetales, Victory Bell, and Sandy Shocks. Let me know your guys' thoughts on the video. If you're new, subscribe. If you enjoy this type of content, make sure you guys leave a like. If you guys are interested in any Detroit Steel Wings merch, let me know in the comment section. I'm not going to shill it at you if you guys don't want it, but if you want it, I'll put it up. And also, check out the official sponsor of CBAD and the Detroit Steel Wings, Glitch Energy. Their new flavor, Plasma Peach, is a banger. You can use code CBAD to save big on that one. I'm going to cut to team preview, and we'll be right back. All right, so we're almost on the money here. We've got Walking Wake, we've got Okidogi, we've got Sylveon. We see no Ninetales, and instead we see Jirachi, and we see no Victory Bell, and instead we see Driftblim. So I said in the team builder that I felt Jirachi was a good bring. I thought in place of Sandy Shocks, but it is nice to see that. So there is no Sun. He's got a Rocker in Jirachi. He's got the Defogger potentially in Driftblim. I don't hate rocks in this game, but I don't think they're a priority as well. I truly think that leading with something like the Iron Bundle is the appropriate play here. We do have Donphan to help out with the Okidogi. We do have Cresselia here to help out with the Sylveon. Persian is always going to be great as well. Let's just lead off with Iron Bundle and see what we can make happen today. Get a nice flip turn off on something. Get some nice damage off. We said our good luck, have funs. I am looking forward to this matchup. Let me keep as much notes here as I can. I'm assuming Sylveon will have Pixelate, Okidogi, Toxic Chain. Jirachi will have Serene Grace. Driftblim, Unburden, I would imagine. And then Sandy Shocks also having that Protosynthesis as well. Leads off with Seaman, which is the Walking Wake. All right. Now then. Freeze, that is so huge. That is gigantic. Now, if you have a Yachi Berry on... If you have a Yachi Berry, I still do 83 to 98 to you. I feel like I flip turn here. Your Draco Meteor will knock me out. Nothing else does. Maybe I do just go for the Freeze Dry. What would you switch into? Would you switch into Jirachi? Freeze Dry does huge damage if this is not a... I'm going to flip turn. I'm going to flip turn. I'm going to play it safe. See what my opponent does. Withdraws. Okay. We are going to keep the momentum here. My opponent does go out into Jin, which is the Jirachi. Okay. Now, we are faster. Jirachi could be Choice Scarfed. I'm going to go out into the Bonk here. Let's see if we see any sort of leftovers from my opponent. We do see leftovers, so we know we are faster than this thing. Ivy Cudgel does 92 to 109 to this Pokemon. I am fine. I actually want to switch out. Do I think you'd stay in? I'll just go for an Ivy Cudgel here. See what my opponent wants to go into and see what the switch is here. Goes out in a Poo, which is the Driftblim. That is big damage and a critical hit. We don't see any sort of item on there. So if Driftblim is max HP here, that's got to have some defensive investment, I feel like. I feel like with that crit, we're in a good spot to just go for another Ivy Cudgel. Walking Wake could come in as a big defensive check here to this thing. So I don't want to go for anything along those lines. I don't have the opportunity to Trailblaze and then set up. We are naturally faster, but I didn't pace to outspeed Walking Wake. I'm only outpacing Sandy Shocks and below. So I'll go for another Ivy Cudgel here if we take any sort of aftermath damage on it. But this does, unless this is like max, which Ivy Cudgel at max still does 42 to 50. So I believe that the crit is going to help us out in our favor here to knock out that Driftblim. All right. Ogerpon KOs Driftblim with Ivy Cudgel. All right. So now if we can get hazards up, we are looking good. We are looking good. Walking Wake would likely be the answer here, wouldn't it? I feel like. To which we have access to go into Cresselia to take a hit from that. We also know that Iron Bundle probably wouldn't lose any. We wouldn't like necessarily get knocked out by anything that Walking Wake would go for. You know, if this is a choice spec set, maybe. Let me pull up choice specs here. Choice specs here. So choice specs Walking Wake does start to KO some things on bundle. Goes back out into Seaman. Okay. Which is fine. We're not staying in. We are going to switch here. That is out into Cresselia. So one of the defensive checks is gone, which is always a good thing. Let's switch out to Cresselia here. Cresselia should be taking... Draco Meteor does half to us. Which then we can Moonlight off. So we'll determine the damage here and see what he wants to do. Flip turn. Okay, so we do see flip turn from my opponent here. What would you go out into? Would this be Okie... I don't know if Okie Dokie would come out. What would come out here? Jirachi, maybe? For like a U-turn? You know? Is what I'm thinking. If it's like Scarf Jirachi. You know, maybe like a trick set? No, we already seen the leftovers there. Okay. So we get our leftovers back as well. 396 to 440, 444. The Walking Wake did 38 or 48 to us. Oh, it's roughly 10%. So that's pretty especially offensive there. It'll be much more. So there. Like I can Thunder Wave you. But I think just going out into Donphan is going to be the play here. You don't have a ground immunity anymore. Ah, Thunder Wave of your own. Earthquake just looks really free. Earthquake just looks really free. So I'm going to do that. If Walking Wake is the check here, that's doing about 39 to 47. Okie Dokie, a max HP Okie Dokie, that's doing 58 to 72. Sylveon, we're doing about half to. Sandy Shocks, we get some good damage off on Sandy Shocks, 83 to 99, which is a good thing. So we're just going to go for Earthquake. So we do see U-turn here from the Jirachi. So you go out in a re-show, which is the Sandy Shocks. Okay. Floats in the air with its air balloon. Ooh, very nice. Very nice. So I don't know actually what Sandy Shocks could do to me here. Like an Earth Power would hurt. Earth Power. Yeah, I feel like Earth Power would be the play here. Now I can Rapid Spin to pop the balloon. I don't think I'll be faster afterwards, so I would take another hit here. Earth Power is doing 60 to 71. I'm going to Protect to Scout. I'm going to reveal that I've got Protect here just to see what you want to do. We know Sandy Shocks has Air Balloon. Goes for Stealth Rocks. Okay. Now I can spin these away pretty freely. We'll get our recovery here. That'll bring us pretty much back up to full. I'll just go for a Rapid Spin. Get these rocks away. Maybe it's not wise to let this thing do a lot of damage to me, but I don't want these hazards around for Ogerpon. There's the Earth Power. 384 to 177. That did what? 207 to us? It did 46%, so he's not super offensive here. We also... no, we're still not faster yet. I could go for Protect for the... boost here. If I go to +2, am I faster than this thing? I am not. I think I need to go for Earthquake here. See if my opponent really wants those rocks up for Ogerpon or not. Ultimately, at the end of the day, Ogerpon does have access to Horn Leech for that recovery. So we've seen Stealth Rock, we've seen Earth Power as well. I really just don't want to deal with those hazards. And it is not a roll, unfortunately. Okay. Sandy Shocks, KOs, Donphan with Earth Power. Okay, that is fine. We have no rocks up. Let me see here. Sandy Shocks. Horn Leech gets us back a lot of momentum here. Horn Leech is 92 to 108. I could go out into Iron Bundle here, which Ice Beam is going to be able to knock that thing out. We don't have our Jirachi answer anymore, unfortunately. I think I'm going to go out into Ogerpon here. Uh, 77 to 90, even from an uninvested hit. I will just go for that Horn Leech. We unfortunately don't have a Thunder Wave response now if that Jirachi comes in. Horn Leech will at least hit the Walking Wake for neutral damage should it show up. Let's see. Just withdraws. Okay. Here comes Urameshi. Ooh, okay. Now this thing is gonna hurt. Especially now that our Donphan's not here. Yeah, this thing is just going to do mean things to us now. And I need to be careful about that. So I think what I want to do is go out in a Ditto here. Let's see. Cresselia still has some value here. I think Cresselia can handle it. Let's go into Cresselia. Maybe that's not the right play. Maybe I'm supposed to keep my checks around here, but... Goes for knockoff. Yep. Knockoff is going to get rid of my leftovers. All right. I will just Moonlight up here. I'm faster, naturally, so this is no speed. Crunch. Okay. Now, Psyshock should just do a lot of damage, right? Psyshock should just do a lot of damage, so I'm curious if this is like Payapa Berry or something, right? I'll just go for the Psyshock here. He withdraws. Okay. We've seen Knockoff and we've seen Crunch. It is not choice. Goes out into the Jirachi. Unfortunately, we are about to get Thunder Waved here, but if we're Thunder Waved, we can't get Toxic. That's my thinking right there, right? So we'll go for Moonlight, get us back up to full. You can go for U-turn. I am just going to go for our own Thunder Wave. We want to play the Jirachi game? I'll play the Jirachi game. Probably what? Thunder Wave Ironhead? And if he switches out here into something like maybe Sylveon or something, that'd be great to get us a paralysis onto. Oh, expected the double. Okay. So I'll get my paralysis off on you. Do you just keep spamming Thunder Wave, I guess? There's the Ironhead. Okay. I will go for another Moonlight here, just in case. This is going to be a long part of the battle right here. Now, I think I take an opportunity to go out into Ogerpon here. I could get paralyzed. This is true. I could very well get paralyzed. But I can also take an Ironhead. There's the U-turn. That'll be some good damage. Now, I'm faster than everything but Walking Wake. So if I can take a Walking Wake flip turn here. I don't know if that's the play. Yeah, flip turn does 15 to 18. I take the flip turn, though. We know it's not offensive like that physically. I'm going to go for a Horn Leech here. There's the flip turn. Okay. Made that read. So I do get a big Horn Leech off on something. I do not know what that is yet. Swords Dance would have been fantastic here. But that is fine. I've got a full health Cresselia to help deal with the... Walking Wake. Someone's going to get Horn Leeched. I think this is Choice Specs Walking Wake, if I had to assume. Goes out in Orisha, which is that Sandy Shocks. Now, if I go for a Trailblaze here, that puts us faster than the Walking Wake, which gives my opponent a little bit of some room here to have to think about this. So now Sandy Shocks goes for an Earth Power here. If I go for Swords Dance into Trailblaze, do I just start to win? Let me see. Where is Walking Wake at? Walking Wake, 88 to 103 on that. Oh my goodness. Oh god. Ooh. So this thing, Sandy Shocks... Earth Power max is 50 to 59 to us. I'm going to go for a Swords Dance. Withdraws. Okay. Goes on to Urameshi, which is going to be that Okie Dokie. Ivy Cudgel does 86 to 101 to max HP. Okie Dokie here. I'm going to go for that Ivy Cudgel. Let's see what we can pull off here. 86 to 101 to max HP Okie Dokie. Now, if it does have... I've got a chance to crit. But if this does have the defensive investment, even then... I mean, we saw how much that was doing to Cresselia, so I don't think it's max HP, max defense. I feel like we've got a good chance for some good damage here with Ivy Cudgel. We knock out Okie Dokie. All right. That is another mod. Now, Walking Wake, I feel like, has to come out and hit, like, spec something now, right? I feel like, yeah, I feel like that's the play you make now, is coming out here because you need to take me out. So I go out into Cresselia here. You do not risk me going for a Horn Leech and doing 88 to 103 to you. I think if you flip turn, that is an incredibly strong play. Draco Meteor, okay. I immediately go back out into Ogerpon here. Goes out into Risho. Okay. I'm just going to click Horn Leech to get my recovery here. Ogerpon KOs Sandy Shocks. Okay. At this point, we still have that Jirachi to deal with, so I need Ogerpon around. I do. Iron Bundle can help with Walking Wake, but Ditto can also scarf over it and go for things as well. So here's the Seaman. How many times in the comment section have I said Seaman, by the way? Let me know. So again, Draco Meteor doing a lot to me. I think the appropriate play here is actually to go into Iron Bundle to take this. Here's the Scald. Okay. Does get the burn. And Jirachi resists. So you have to think that I'm going for a freeze dry here, right? I don't think you're Yachi Berry. I don't think you're Yachi Berry. I think with Jirachi, anticipating that, Hydro Pump does 34 to 40. Let me just flip turn. Let me not get ahead. I've got momentum here. He withdraws. Here comes the Jirachi. Okay. Let's go out into Ogerpon. There's your leftovers. That's going to bring you back up to full, right? So Ivy Cudgel to max HP Jirachi does 92 to 109. I don't know if I want to get Thunder Waved here. I think I go back out into Iron Bundle because I think there's going to be a Thunder Wave here. Now, I could bank on the Paralysis. It is a Jirachi, so banking against Paralysis against Jirachi is fine. But I'm going to go back out into Iron Bundle here and try to throw off some Hydro Pumps. There's a Thunder Wave. Okay. So we're faster. I'm not trying to get Thunder Waved here. But what I can do is just toss off a big boy Hydro Pump here and start doing some damage. And I missed the first Hydro Pump of the season. Let's go. There's the U-turn. Let's see about... Persian's doing about 35 to 41 to Jirachi with knockoff, which would be nice. I do want to get that thing knocked off eventually here. We've seen Flip Turn, Draco Meteor, and Scald. I've got a... I think I let Bundle go down here. I'm going to go for a Hydro Pump. I want to keep Cresselia a little bit on the healthier side. Especially if he goes for like a Flip Turn right now, anticipating me to switch. That could be good damage. Could be. Could be is the key word there. Well, then again, I'm still faster. So either way, we get chip on this thing. Quad resisted. It's chip. We'll take it. There's the Flip Turn. And we should still actually live this with burn, which is great. Yeah, we should still live after burn to toss off another Hydro Pump somewhere. And the Sylveon in the back is very interesting. Here comes Keiko. Now, this thing... to Sylveon. Hydro Pump doing 29 to 34. I'm just going to toss off another one. You start Calm Minding, I go into Ditto. Or I go into Ogerpon. There's Baton Pass. Okay. So you have Baton Pass. Alright, so Iron Bundle's doing Iron Bundle things. Finally hitting Hydro Pumps, which is great. Here comes Seaman. Okay, say it again. Say it again for the people in the back. I'm faster. Oh, do I live burn? I do not live burn. Okay. What is it? Walking Wake. KOs. Iron Bundle. With Scald Burn. Okay. What I would like to do is get some fake out damage off with this thing, I think. Let me see here. Walking Wake. If I am Terra Fake Out does 28 to 33. And I'm faster than this thing. Let's give it a shot. Let's give it a shot. Let's fake out and U-turn. All right, Terrastal Captain, Technician boosted fake out. Let's go. Like I said, 38 to 45. Your draw is probably what, Jirachi? Knockoff would have been great. All right. I think we have the pieces here to win this. I think it's just the puzzle now of putting them all together. Okay. Now again, Persian, fastest thing here. I'm going to go out into Cresselia here. Try to heal up. We still have the Ditto in the back. Got the full para on the Jirachi as well. Unfortunately, taking away all that lovely fake out damage that we had, but it means I can heal up with a Moonlight. Stay healthy so we have some sort of a defensive backbone here. I think getting Cresselia paralyzed was the correct play. Ditto gets paralyzed. I get paralyzed. Oh, this is the fun game. This is the fun part of the game. Go for a Moonlight. Oh, Jirachi gets paralyzed. Oh, I get paralyzed. Oh, isn't that the game we play? Isn't that the game we play? And I got knocked off, so I'm not even getting any sort of leftovers recovery back here. Let's hit the Moonlight. Can we go for 3 in a row? Oh, Jirachi got paralyzed. Oh, my God. Do I get paralyzed? Oh, I get a Moonlight off. Okay, great. I think I go out into... do I go into Persian? So I think I go out here into... I'm going to go out here into Ogerpon. Because I think I need Persian Alive because it's faster than everything. I'm going to go out into Ogerpon to try to break. And get a big Ivy Cudgel off. Because I can crit knock this thing out. Jirachi got paralyzed again. Oh my god, that's the game we play. That's the game we play. I got to remind myself that. Ivy Cudgel. We got a full health Cresselia now. I think he stays in and tries to Thunder Wave. Which if he does, I mean, that's what you do here. But I'm going to go for the Ivy Cudgel. 92 to 109 to like max attack. Or max HP, I think it was. 92 to 109 to max HP Jirachi. So if this is physically defensive, we obviously don't have that roll. But we've got a 56.3% chance to OHKO without the crit. We know a Draco Meteor from Walking Wake will kill us. Scald from Walking Wake, where does that put us? Withdraws. Okay, so Scald does 61 to 72 to us. We know where Flip Turn puts us. Hornleech is 44 to 52. Which is not what we need right there. Do I risk them going for a Draco? I've got a full health Cresselia here for you to attack into, right? I've got a full health Cresselia for you to attack into here, right? I'm going to go for a Hornleech. There's the Scald. Okay, we live that. That's 61 to 72. We take that. Perfect. Hornleech again. Your specs. You are specs. You are spectacles. Something wallet and watch. Jirachi, Sylveon, and Walking Wake are left. Come on, Ogerpon. You got this. Big Hornleech here. 44 to 52. Unless there's more HP investment than I'm calculating for. This is just standard OU. 44 to 52. That looked to be about that damage, which should put us in a good spot. We'll get about a quarter of our health back. Withdraws probably goes into Jirachi. Goes down to Sylveon. Okay. Hornleech is 52 to 59. Oh, I think Trailblaze actually might win us the game here. Trailblaze is 33 to 39. We see the leftovers. I think we go for Trailblaze here to win the game. I don't know if I'm getting ahead of myself. But I think we Trailblaze here to make sure that we're faster than Walking Wake. All right. Ogerpon knocks out Sylveon with Trailblaze. Walking Wake and Jirachi are left. Here comes the Walking Wake. Hornleech. Ogerpon KOs Walking Wake with Hornleech. And here comes the Jirachi to take an Ivy Cudgel. And I believe that is game. I believe that is game. Ogerpon nailing the Ivy Cudgel. The crit may have mattered. Ogerpon picking up all 6 KOs this week. A 5-0 victory coming in hot for the Detroit Steelwings. Is that 4-0 victory. Iron Bundle went down. That is a 4-0 victory week 1 in the SPL, the Shuckle Premier League. I'm sweating from the top of my head to the bottom of my toes. What a fantastic game. I think that was really well played on both sides, honestly. I think I played pretty okay for shaking the rust off. And I think Danny brought one hell of a team. Definitely go check out their channel. Link will be in the description. Let me know what you guys thought of the battle in the comment section down below. If you're new, subscribe. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Don't forget to support the official sponsor of the Detroit Steel Wings, Glitch Energy. Plasmic Peach available now. Use code CBAD to save 10% off. All that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. I would remind you guys to be great and do great, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Later.